All right, we're back with another overview on one of my trucks. I haven't really had this on the channel for a video at all, but I have had a bunch of shorts on it. It's my Redcat Gen7. This was one of two that I had bought about a year and a half ago, I think it was. Bought them both for my older sons to try to get them into it, but they weren't really into it too much. It ended up being. So I took this one over, and my younger son took the other one over. That one's pretty much stock. Still just upgraded spools because the stock ones are half plastic, and he broke one instantly because he likes to just full throttle everywhere because he's 7. And the ESC was replaced because it burnt up on like the last trip we tried to do for a trail ride. So other than that, it's all stock. He just runs it with me when we go out. This one, not much Gen 7 left, honestly. So it's got the frame rails, the transmission, the basic parts of it. To start out with, these are the Endura. I think they're 4.19. I had to look it up real quick. 4.25 inch, 108 millimeter. These are just, honestly, a bunch of companies sell these. Endura sells them as this rubber tire or whatever, nothing crazy. And then a bunch of other companies sell them because these are like $20, $22 or so usually. You can get them a little cheaper sometimes from other companies, but I haven't tried those ones yet because I don't know if the compound's the same or not. These ones are a kind of hard-ish compound, but not crazy hard. These have been amazing for the size these are. I crawl up a lot of stuff that I didn't think I could with this littler tire in this truck. Maybe I'll put a little bit right here, actually, of a couple of the shorts. Size-wise, these have been great. These are feathering really good. Not sure if you can really tell on there, but I try to keep them all the same direction. They're feathering really good on there, and they grip great. These tires were, these wheels, they came with tires like these. These are like another set that are bronze, and they do actually okay. I'd say like this is a good mix-ish tire. Nothing crazy. It's pretty soft. The foams are a little stiff, but not too bad. I vented them, and they did pretty good. This is another set I have. They were on sale for like $20 for the complete set, so they look really good. Yeah, the only thing that stinks is you have to take the cover off every time you get to the wheel nut. But it actually holds this, the actual SLW type hub on. So to get the wheel off, you take the 6 off, and then the nut stays with this SLW section. But whatever, it's almost like it's a real tire. I've also had these Ot 6 Racing Voodoo KLRMs. I think these ones are 4.19. They're a little smaller. And Mias wheels, brass weights inside. The wheels are awesome. They look great. These tires on this truck have not been that good. I don't know if it's just because of how big these lugs are, height-wise. This truck is pretty heavy. There's a lot of forward weight bias and a little, pretty good amount of weight in the back, but there's a lot of weight in the front. And I just don't know if these lugs are just kind of folding over. Maybe it's the inserts. They're Endura, the smallest inserts you can get. They might not be the smallest. They're close to. But they're just not doing too good on here. So I had to try them on another truck maybe eventually. I got these on when they had the discount going. Like they didn't come with inserts or anything because it's hot six, but they went on sale for pretty cheap money for what they are usually. I've also tried on the Klingons, and they did really good just to try them. And there's actually this setup here. There's a couple shorts of this. Climbing up a couple rocks, I think. This truck more, I trail with this more, so I really wanted more of like a scale-ish looking tire. So I didn't keep these on long. I just wanted to try them out. And they did really good too. I think that's, oh, nope. Yes, actually, I did have these on for a little bit too. The Hobby Soul Extreme MT Mud Terrain, and they did okay, but I just don't like this big of a tire on here. This is more of a little-ish tire truck. I just wanted to try them on there, and they did pretty good too. But the lugs on this being too tall and floppy, again, I think just like the KLRs was kind of hindering it. It did really good on certain things, but then these have been a good all-around tire for this truck. So I keep these on here now. I keep trying to change out, but this doesn't work. These wasn't the original wheels I had on for a while. They're just AliExpress wheels that you get you can get them for like $16 a lot of times, and then the rings were like $5. Then they have the fronts have brass rings inside, and those have silicone inserts in them too. Because this is more of a trail truck, so it does get a little wet. Nothing crazy. I don't go like river cross. A little bit of stream crossings and stuff. But anyways, tire wise, these have been great. I've been keeping these on. Wheels, I just kind of like the combo of the color. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting in here because it just kind of glares on everything. Proline 4Runner body. This is painted. This is supposed to be this color. It is the metallic green from Tamiya. The thing is, I had sprayed on first translucent silver, just to give it a little bit of like a silver shine on the top. But I was painting this when it was dark outside, with like a couple lights out front of my house, and I didn't notice just how like in the light outside in the light outside in the dark, I couldn't see the silver that much, and I was like, man, this stuff's like really thin. I was expecting it to be kind of thick silver like this. When I came into the basement here where I do this, I was like, oh, I made a mistake, and it was silver. So I was like, well, let's see how it goes, and I sprayed it with PS17 metallic green. As you can see, that silver really dulled it down a lot. And I just ended up backing it with black. It does have light buckets in it. I got these off of Colts 3D. The guy was only selling for like $1 or something, front and rears. But there was no hole for the marker, so I drilled a hole for it. And then the rears, just a marker in there. No brakes or anything like that, just that. The body clips, of course. And then it also has sliders that I've designed and built in Up on Maker World, and I have Velcro on the sides to keep these from flopping. And they just come off there. The Endura magnetic connection. Then I can just plop it on and plop the body on. And it's just a cheap light kit. The wires are just hot glued in place, so they're not dangling down the A pillars and A, B, C, D pillars and on the roof. And all hot glued in there so the water doesn't get up in the lights. So that's the body, and that's the black. Well, actually, you know what? That might have been gunmetal I backed it with. I think I might have backed it with gunmetal because that's kind of shiny. So, and then I just smoked the windows because I don't have any interiors. I just smoked it so it didn't look just black straight up. As far as body posts go, to put on a SUV cab, the posts in the rear go tall enough because the stock Redcat Gen7 body is an SUV. But the thing is, these are wobbly because they're just 2 posts this tall. So I designed this part that just holds the post the right width, and straightens them out because mine are kind of crooked from, trailing and whatever. This files up on Maker World. You can adjust the height on this because if you set it this way on the build plate and just adjust the Z height only, it'll squish it down but not mess up the X and Y size for the post, because if you do the whole thing, it's going to make it too small of a hole. So just be careful on that. Also, there is chassis braces that I built, designed, and are up on Maker World front and rear, that give you an extra row of bolt holes for the shocks. This is because when you put on portals like this is on, the stock shocks or anything that's around the stock length makes it kind of a monster truck if you use anything down here. It sits up really high. And the front one, I have a regular stock version of this, the 3D print, and you can have the extended holes. But I also have this one that it actually, because stock, the body posts go with the chassis angle like this, because the stock body has like a dip in the hood. This one is so you can have straight body posts to put a body on, an aftermarket body on, that all have like flat hoods, because if not, your post will be sticking out your hood crooked and they don't fit right because this hits the body and messes it up. So those are Maker World. Maker World for these. I put Velcro on here, dual lock, and there's holes already built into the slider, and then I just cut it out, and then that's how you bolt the skid, bolt it onto the skid. You put your driver through here, and you can get to the bolt holes. Let's see. I also have. This is like a mount, it bolts onto 2. Just a little electronics tray. It bolts onto 2 of the bolt holes in the transmission. That's up on Maker World. I have this for also the SCX10 and I think another truck. I don't remember. The 3 gear and for this. And I thought it was for another one I have too, but I'm blanking. But it's just a little electronics mount, because I have a Fusion SE 1800 kV in here, and it literally is just a receiver and the power switch. So instead of putting it on the sliders, I figured I'd get a little higher up, a little bit out of water if it gets a little water in it, plus it doesn't get hit. I didn't have the sliders at the time too. I didn't have anything here. I just had this. But then I just added this for the body mostly because the body was flopping so much. This tray is also on Maker World. It lowers because it angles more up on the stock tray. So this one brings it down flatter, and also you can still put a huge battery. I trailed this mostly, so I have a 5200 in here most of the time. The lowest I have is like a 3 something, I think, sometimes 2200-ish maybe. It almost always has a 5200 in here though, because I trail so much with it, and I just don't want to have to worry about changing batteries, and it's not like a crazy rock climber, even though it does do some pretty good stuff. These shocks are Chavtechs, fake Traxxas that have been swapped. The internals have been swapped out for Traxxas parts. I have a video on how I work on these shocks, take them apart, and reseal them. But it's the 2362 from Traxxas and 2669. I believe on this truck I used the 2-hole piston instead of the 3-hole piston on this truck with 40 weight oil. So then you have an extra set of 3-hole piston ones that you can put into another truck, or you can use one set and do like 2 and 3 or 3 and 2, whatever you want to do. But usually you would need 2 sets of this to make them the same. And then you need the 2362 O-ring kits with the bladders. Again, like I said, there's a video up on YouTube for that, and these have been on here for months, and as you can see, they're not leaking. There's a little bit on the edge here from when it was probably built, but there's nothing there, nothing. They're clean. They're great. These are they come with 2 different spring rates. This is the softer of the 2 spring rates. Actually, these are another set of these shocks right here. Not built, because I don't remember why I have extra 2. But, yeah. Yeah, these are 85 millimeter shocks because I think stock is like 95 or 100, and that's why I can have them down here and not have to have them up in the top holes. So 85 mils, 85 mil. I've tried up to 105 up here. I didn't like the articulation. It was just too much, like about a tire usually. And the 105s, it was way up there, and it was flopping around, hitting the body and stuff. So those have been good. Let's see. Video that. Got that. Oh, this is a file I found on Thingiverse, I think it is. Because this is the stock Gen 7 transmission, but with the Redcat metal gears inside. And then they don't have a cover stock. And I like to run a cover with going on like a lot of all the trail trucks I have and everything. This file is a cover. They 3D print, and then it's also the motor plate. That's the 2 parts together. You got to take everything, transmission and everything off, swap it over, and it actually adds to the motor plate. It doesn't replace the motor plate completely. So that's a good upgrade for it to keep the dust out and everything, and also it kind of helps a little bit of noise. Some people say it can make an echo chamber, but this one's been pretty good. I am running because I'm on portals. Usually, if you buy like the Gen 7 portal kit, it comes with a new spur gear only, I believe, and I don't remember honestly what stock was, and then it drops it down like 8 or 10 teeth. I can't remember exactly, but I didn't buy that kit. I have different portals on it, and it's a 72. I had to write it down because I couldn't remember. 72 spur. It's a Kimbro, whatever the name is, spur, and a 28 tooth pinion, but that's 48 pitch. So remember that, not 32 pitch. It's 48 pitch to keep the noise down. Been great. It has plenty of speed. I can still slow crawl with the Fusion SE, no problem at all. Never gets hot, never shuts off. I can put my hand on there and hold it, no problem. It never has an issue. So that's a good combo for me for this. Going to the axle, since we're kind of talking about that, these are, Mias sells them, Mias nylons, everyone calls them, but I bought them off AliExpress. You can get them usually about $20 cheaper on AliExpress, but then you got to wait a week or two. But AliExpress is still only like $80, I think, for them, so it's still a good deal, really good deal. But these are Mias nylon portals. I haven't had any issues with these portals. I've never broken anything on them. Never had an issue. Gears are fine. When I first read about them, people said that they stripped out the portal gears a lot. This has been months on this. It's been probably since March, February or so. I can't even remember that I put these on, and I've miles and miles and miles of trails, and I have not ever broken a tooth. I've never broken a tooth on ring and pinion, portal gears, or anything. Let's pull up Skeletra vehicles. This only says 3.3 miles I've had on it, but I've had way more than that because every trail ride's at least usually about 3 miles. So it just must not have been. I forget to turn on Skeletra a lot. But anyways, never had an issue. It does take the VS410, I believe it was. I believe it's the Vanquish VS410 portal gears inside, because that's actually what I have on here for the. If you want to add brass to any of this, the portal boxes, the weights or anything, is before I say anything, VS410 Phoenix F10 portal kit. This is the exact kit that I have. Sorry, took a minute. But I bought them on AliExpress, and you get them for like $50 less. I knew instead of like 73. But again, you got to wait, so it depends on what you're feeling like. Fit perfect. I didn't have any issue. There was no. I don't think that I had to shave anything down. It just fit and it worked. But that added a huge amount of weight down below. They're pretty heavy, and that's the portal box in the front, the whole box, and the weight. It's kind of like a hanger on the box, and then this is just portal cover, and then it has like the hanger built into it too. While I'm under here, Endura drive shafts. Links are all custom made by me. I think the front bolted in fine when I did these axles. In the rears, I think I had to redo the lowers. I don't remember. One set of them I had to redo. So this one did have stock links for a little bit. It's been a little while. I cannot remember. But I ended up just replacing everything. It's threaded rod, M4 threaded rod with the M4 rod ends, and then 1/4 inch brake line sleeved on it. Again, this has been months since I put these on. You can see the scratches and the hits and everything. I've never broken one of them. These are rod ends that I buy off of AliExpress by like the 20 packs or so, and never had an issue. Been fine. As you can see, it's scratched up really good. This is a 3D printed skid that brings the links inward, because stock, the lower links are way out here on front and rear. Again, no problems with those. I might do a video on how I make these, because I did have some people recently ask me how I put these on. Not that it's hard, but they asked what I did for the links. I have also made links with brass. This was some that I made for the Mantis before I bought some different ones. 7mm brass with 2mm wall. You can put an M4 stud in. You tap it, put the M4 stud in, then you can do a link in. This is partially out, so that's why it's so long. But you can do that too. Let's see here. Underneath here, I don't think there's much else. This was just an RC Lions kit that came with something else for the steering link. Now down here is fine. Endura 35 kilogram servo. It's strength wise, it's completely fine. It's just kind of slow and loud, but it works completely fine. So again, this is a trail truck, so I haven't had an issue with it. This is a file that I found for a bumper mount. I don't remember why I had this bumper mount specifically. Oh, the stock one broke. That's what it was. The stock one I fell nose down and it snapped. That's what it was. So I think I just put this, and I must add a bumper in here at some point too. Maybe the stock one, because I do have some screws in here. But yeah, I haven't had any issues there either. This was a customly bent a little bit rod end, and it's just so it clears the frame. R6F receiver, because I use my RC6GS radial link receiver transmitter. I think that's about it on this truck. It does great. It's one of my favorite trucks to just trail with. I can just run it, and it never has an issue. I don't remember the last time I broke anything on here. Surprisingly, because I know it's a Redcat, and people are going to talk about it and not like it, supposedly, but I don't know what to tell you. I've replaced half the parts on it. It's just the stock frame, stock transmission housing, rear body mount. Okay, honestly, that's pretty much it. So it's like 1/4 Redcat, if anything. Still, this is due for some kind of a service, I think, too, because we're getting some play in some of the. There's something, maybe the servo mount. Let's see. Now, something has some play here. I've also noticed that some of the rod ends are getting a little bit of play side to side. Well, the rear is actually pretty solid. It was the front. Yeah, the front has a little bit of play somewhere. I think I see this one moving inside of that ball. But yeah, it's been a great platform, great truck, and you can buy parts pretty cheap. You can buy parts pretty cheap for it, even stock. My son is 7 years old, and I'm telling you right now, he does not let off the trigger. That thing will just go full speed. In stock, the Redcat is geared so fast for some reason. I don't even know. It's quick, and he beats on it. Stock tires, stock wheels, stock axles. Like I said, I just put in the metal spools, because the stock ones are like half plastic and they stripped out. I think I did put the CVs in the front on his, and on the axles that I had on, the stock ones I had on before. Kind of been wanting to go over all my trucks to see, so when I go to work on them, you guys can see if you care to look back, where the basis was when I first started the channel, and where it's gone from there, because this is going to get a couple upgrades. I'm thinking about redoing some of the links. Like I said, they're getting some slop in them. I have been thinking about changing out the servo, because even though it works, it is a little slow, which I don't mind, but I don't mind. The thing I don't like is the noise, really. It is quite a noisy servo, but it works. And when the body's on, it's a little less noisy. I also want to take it apart and re-lube everything. I haven't lubed this thing in a while, all the grease, and greased it up or anything. I haven't opened this gearbox up in months. Same with the diffs, same with the portals. I do lube everything with marine grease, just because this does go in a little bit of water. Actually, I put it in the rotors everything, just in case it gets wet. Does kind of suck to clean out when you're trying to clean it, but you know, whatever. At least you don't have to worry about the water. There is also a click that I have not been able to find yet. It just happened on the last outing I had. Let's see if I can hear it. Yep. Let's see. This is usually a really quiet truck just going with this hobby wing. So you can, you know, reverse on have like 50% and forward. That's the Fusion 1800, even, you know, with the portals. But there's a click. There's definitely going to be drive shaft related, it sounds like, but I just haven't dug into it. The last outing I had, something moved or loosened up. I couldn't tell you yet, but yeah. So that's the truck. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Check out the files if you have one of these on Maker World. I got a bunch up there. I know in the camera this looks like a monster truck, but I can barely get my finger in here. I don't know. It must just be the angle, because the tire touches when I do this. That's how I set this truck up. So it's like that. It, you know, barely clears the bumper, and this has been set up really good for me. I understand that people might not like different things. I keep on trying to put on like a bull bar bumper, but then I don't want to, because then I have to cut the body more or go down and under, and then I lose clearance. But it does have these bumpers on built into the truck, so I've just been kind of going with that. But I kind of wanted to go a little, not scale, but a little scale size, not like ridiculous. Like I didn't want to put like, what are these? So these are 4.25, 10 scale ish. These would be a 42-inch tire in real life ish. Obviously, scale is kind of relative on a lot of this RC stuff, so that's not exact. But if you think about it, a 10 scale, 4.25 is 42.5-inch tire. You're looking at a pretty big tire on a truck, if anyone knows trucks in real life, and not just toy trucks like we do. Most trucks are hard to fit even a 37 on, especially a 4Runner or a Toyota pickup or T100 or Ranger. Putting a 42 on, you are doing some massive work. Straight axles, big lift. That'll be it for this one. I will have an update video, updates video. So actually cleaning this truck up, going over the greasing, I think, for it. I don't know if people really care about that or not, but I figured I'd just throw it out there anyways, especially if someone's new, they know how to take the transmission apart, where the gears go. Not that there's many gears in it. It's only like, what, I think this is like a 3-gear transmission, where there's only 3, maybe 4 gears in this one. Just to go over it though, and clean her up. Your little maintenance day kind of thing. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, yeah, throw them down below. Till the next time, have a good day.